Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me today. I guess I just hope you all are having an awesome day. I'm sorry for the low energy and I don't know. I'm just feeling like this video is already very informal, which I mean, I like my videos to be informal, but I usually like to feel a little bit more upbeat and energetic like I usually am. If you watched my video last week, you'll know that I'm pregnant and I have been sick. I feel like some days are better than others, and right now I've just been not like this past week was it kind of plummeted and got worse for some reason, even though I thought I was on like an upward trend. But I don't know, some things did get better. Like I'm able to eat more of a variety of things. I've added like trail mix to my diet, like cranberries, almonds, cashews. I've added non-fatty yogurt, Greek yogurt, which has been great. It's super high in protein, which is awesome because I haven't been able to eat much meat. What else have I started eating? Trail mix, yogurt, carrots, cucumbers. Yeah, just like light foods, but it's nice to have a variety, you know? And so that's been good. I think what's made me feel more sick is I've been a little bit irregular, if you know what I mean, a little bit blocked up. Hashtag prenatal vitamins. I was just talking to a friend today about it, and she said that she had to try several different prenatal vitamins to find ones that didn't make her feel sick. So if you have any recommendations, I realized I kind of just bought the same brand of prenatal vitamins I used with my first pregnancy, assuming that all prenatal vitamins just make you constipated, but apparently that's not the case. So if any of you moms out there have had constipation issues from prenatal vitamins, please tell me like what you did to help yourselves. I'm currently drinking some jasmine green tea to try to help things move along, but so far not much has worked. I've had so much high fiber foods. I've been eating a lot of oatmeal, a lot of like steel cut oats, and just like things that have a lot of fiber. And yeah, my stomach has just been like in a lot of pain. So sorry, that's why I'm not doing that great. But I really wanted to sit down and vlog with you all today, even though the perfectionist side of me is saying, you know, you're not 100% and you don't have a ton to talk about and all these excuses. I just told myself, bullshit, excuse me, I mean BS, you're gonna vlog today. Because even though this was a challenging week, I don't think that's a reason to shy away from talking to you all and sharing with you all. For me personally, I really appreciate when people just share kind of the difficult times as well as the great times, the highs and the lows, because I don't know, it just makes me feel like we're all going through it together. And maybe some of you had a bad week last week and we're all gonna get through it and it's all gonna be okay. So yeah, and I went to a support group yesterday for the first time. I posted about it on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I know I mentioned last week that I'm gonna get a vlogging camera so I can like do more on the move type vlogs instead of sit down videos. And then I realized I probably should pay my taxes first and see how much I owe if I owe any and then buy a camera. So I'm trying to be responsible. So in the meantime, I'm going to be using Instagram to kind of talk more about like daily life and maybe Insta stories, which I've never even used. I'm actually kind of nervous to make an Instagram story. I just got on Instagram like 6 months ago, so bear with me. But yeah, you should follow me on Instagram for kind of like vlog daily content. But anyway, so last week the constipation started happening coupled with the nausea, and there was some stressful deadlines to meet for work. And I don't know, everything just kind of seemed to pile up. My kid got a cold. Charlie got a cold, which is hard. And he's also becoming extremely picky, a really picky eater, which is really tough because instead of just like, you know, the energy that it takes to get up and feed your kid and then he doesn't want to eat anything you feed him, can be very frustrating. And then he's really hangry and cranky, gets it from his mom. And, you know, it's just a bad combination. But anyway, one of the things in particular that I discovered last week about myself, well, I've always known this, but it's really hitting me hard, is I'm not really great at being sick. I'm a very impatient person. I like to be well, and I think part of the reason why I like to be well and I don't like to sit still isn't just because I'm like naturally a doer. It's because like going to therapy on a weekly basis has brought up a lot of really painful memories, and one of the worst things about painful memories is you just want to like not think about them and not take them with you everywhere you go. And I already noticed that I was the kind of person that didn't like to be alone with my thoughts, which I kind of hate because I feel like real inner strength is like someone who's able to sit alone, like either in meditation or, I mean, I feel like that's why I like high energy exercises and things like that, because then I have to be, it's like not quiet. I look forward to the day that I become mentally and emotionally strong enough to be alone with myself and to be like okay with that. But I've discovered after having gone to therapy that it's really because I don't want to remember a lot of things. So this really intense depression kind of took over. And when I talked to my therapist about it, I basically was like, please tell me what to do to get this dark cloud away from me. Like, it's so heavy. And she said that I've never really had the opportunity to remember and process through a lot of emotions that I'm dealing with. And that when I was a kid, either didn't think anything of it or just suppressed it and have been suppressing it my whole life because I wasn't really allowed to express emotions when I was a kid. So she basically explained it as like, instead of going through a natural process of having your emotions come into you and you experience anger and then sadness and then kind of healing and recovery, the emotions kind of just like get stuck and just kind of are a cyclone of pain. And then we suppress it and we suppress it and ignore it. And I do that by working a lot, keeping myself busy, always doing something, whether it's with my kid or around the house or errands or work stuff. It's just like I keep myself really busy. And being sick and unable to do a lot of things, I haven't been able to keep busy. And so I've been alone with a lot of these thoughts, and it's been really, really hard. And I thought that there was something that she was going to tell me that I could do to make me not depressed. And she basically said that this is like a big part of healing is grieving and experiencing these painful feelings. And that I actually need to experience this pain and then be angry, sad, and then reconcile with it so that I can get to the other side. And that actually made a lot of sense to me. You know, people always say, oh, have a good cry. And I think I actually secretly pride myself on not crying, even though I feel like I am a crier, I cry a lot, but I feel like I cry about other things. Kind of like you're emotional about something, you don't know why, but it's really you're emotional about something else, but it's so suppressed you don't even realize what you're really crying about, you know? So basically, what I've been doing is trying to distract myself, even if it's subconscious, being on so much social media, TV, YouTube. And I know I'm painting an ugly picture, but those of you who, I guess, who need to hear this and who may have had a really bad week and you think you're the only one that's like just failing to make the most of like every day or to just take care of yourself, like you're not alone. And I'm not proud of this, but just really not taking as good care of myself and my family as I feel like I could. And that doesn't mean like I need to like break my back in the kitchen or anything like that. Like that's not what I'm saying, but if you're not doing well, probably shouldn't be spending a ton of time like on social media. And I don't even want to be there. It's like I'm there all day because I don't want to be alone with my thoughts and I'm too sick to like pick up a book or to do more work or to go outside, like especially the pain that I've been experiencing in my stomach recently. And I just hate that because I'm supposed to be experiencing these feelings. And the therapist talked about, you know, using music, like listening to some sad music to kind of help me. And I was playing sad music and I just wanted to start bawling my eyes out. And part of me is so scared to allow those feelings to surface because I'm not used to them being there and I don't know how I'm going to handle them. And I don't want to unravel when like I'm home just with me. It's just me and my brother, autistic brother who I take care of, and my son. And I like still need to be strong and I need to be aware and I need to be taking care of them. And I don't want to unravel. But at the same time, I really need to unravel. And there was one good night, I think it was like Wednesday night, my husband was like, no, this is important. Like you really need to let yourself cry about these things and process through them. And I think I took one specific painful memory and experience and I just sobbed over that one thing so hard, painful crying that I don't remember the last time I cried that hard. It still hurts, but like I feel like I've kind of reconciled that one memory. It's like I guess I have to do this with a lot of memories, which kind of sucks, but crying really does have healing powers. It's like we hear that and we think it's cliche, but I mean, this is what my therapist is telling me too, and this is what I've been finding. And so basically, moving into this week, I am going to put my phone in a cupboard in a different room in my apartment, and I'm only going to check it like 3 times a day for work because I really need to face these emotions. I'm working so hard going to therapy and stuff and now going to a support group, and I started journaling and I'm praying a little bit more, which is great. And I want to share with you guys the thing that I'm using to help me pray, because prayer has been really tough. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram or something. I'm working so hard to heal, and apparently a part of this healing is me grieving. And if I try to jump that part and skip over it because it hurts, I wouldn't be doing myself any favors. So, so moving into this week, I'm going to start really restricting myself. And it's kind of embarrassing to have to like put my phone in another room. But this is kind of where I'm at. I'm so trying to not feel this pain that I've been suppressing for over like 20 years. I'm literally like not even really mentally thinking about the fact that I'm like self-sabotaging my own recovery. And that is something that we talked about in the support group on Saturday. And this support group was for survivors of people who survived abuse of all different kinds. It was really incredible to be there. One of the things that's been really making me depressed is this loneliness that I feel, that I don't really know that many people personally who've been abused and who want to talk about it, which is understandable. So here I am in a room with a bunch of people who have been abused, and the support group is nothing like the movies, by the way. It's actually very structured, and you don't have to say anything if you don't want to, and you kind of just get to hear everybody talk about a specific topic, and the topic we were talking about was self-sabotage. And man, was I emotional, because I felt like this whole past week I've been just sabotaging my recovery, sabotaging my ability to grieve, my ability to get better, to heal. Like, I have no idea what to do. It's like this motivated, determined, disciplined Mia just is like completely gone, and I'm just like trying to find anything to distract myself. And usually I would use food, and I can't eat food right now. So I'm literally just like, there's like nothing but social media. Ugh, it's horrible. Well, obviously it's the easy way to distract yourself. But like, typically what I would do if I wasn't sick is I would like get in the car, go to the park, go to like Barnes and Noble, like grab a coffee. But being pregnant and sick, like all those options are out the door. So man, am I really being faced with a lot of my weaknesses? And this is like, it's such an ugly truth, but it's like, we don't like to be grateful for these painful situations when we're going through them, obviously, because they're so painful. But I think I'm going to look back on this ugly time and be grateful that I had to face my weaknesses. Like, how are any of us supposed to grow if we don't face our weaknesses? But none of us want to, because it's uncomfortable and sometimes really painful, and we don't even know how to handle it. So yeah, basically, like, if you're going through something like this right now, one of the things that I'm learning is like, we have to face our inner demons. If you're one of those people, if you're like me, that wakes up and it's just like, man, I want to be a better person. Like, every day I just want to improve. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better wife, sister, mother, friend. It really comes down to not always like what we put out into the world, but what we put into ourselves. And I think a lot of times we don't know what we need, because we don't really know who we are, because we don't want to think about the bad things. And I think this time period that I'm going through, this really difficult period of time, I'm having to face a lot of the bad things, the lack of discipline, the weaknesses, the struggles, the pain. And I'm hoping that I can face it and come out on the other side of this a lot stronger. Yeah, that's why like I went to the support group, because I know I can't do it alone. And sitting in that room with all of these people, hearing their stories, was extremely inspiring. I didn't feel so alone anymore. And I can't talk too much about it because I want to respect the confidentiality of course, the group. We're not really allowed to talk too much about it. But one thing that I do want to share with you is some really important lessons that I gained from one of the people who shared. And he said two things. The first thing is that we're human beings, not human doings, and how he uses activity to kind of cover up a lot of his issues, and how that's wrong. And I was like, oh, that's me. And because a lot of that ability to do activities is taken away from me right now because of morning sickness, I'm just faced with just me, not Mia who's doing this and Mia who's doing that, just Mia. And I haven't been liking that. And I want to like that. I want to be comfortable with myself on my own, without anything, without any qualifiers, without any activities. And so I think that's really important. Like, if you're one of those people that, defines yourself completely, your value completely by what you do, like, you can't do that, because there might be a time in your life when you might not be able to do all of these things or anything, and that doesn't mean that your value is gone. Like, you still have value, you're still just as important, and you need to learn how to be content with yourself just for being here. And I need to learn how to do that. And another thing he said that helped him was he removed the word enough from his vocabulary. So, you know, I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, I'm kind enough. Like, no, you're not enough. It's like you're more than enough. You're good, you're kind, you're hardworking, you're strong. You don't need to use enough. Like, because that word kind of suggests that we're just hitting the tip where it's like, all right, you're okay. You're not great, but you're all right. It's like, no, stop qualifying yourself as just being just enough. Like, you're more than that. And I thought that was so interesting because I do that all the time. Good enough, Mia. I guess that's fine. I guess, or most of the time, being like, I guess you're just not strong enough. And it's like, really? The amount of crap I've been through in my life, I'm a strong person. And that doesn't mean I don't have weaknesses, but I think that it's okay to be weak sometimes. I think what's important is to recognize when we're being weak and to figure out what we can do to get to the other side of it. That's really all I wanted to share. I feel like I've been rambling a lot, and I sometimes really hesitate to share things when I don't really have like when I haven't gotten to the other side and I can go, I used to be like this, but now look at me now. I'm all healed and I'm all great and everything's great. And you know, to really like leave you all on a very inspiring note in terms of like a personal testimony of like, Mia went through this and now look at she's on the other side. I want to do exactly what she did. And one day I hope to record a video where I am on the other side and I can tell you about this again. But I think it's really dumb and kind of selfish and vain a little bit to wait for that when we could really just be going through this together. I hope I'm leaving you with some sort of positivity in that I don't want to repeat last week. I'm going to face my weaknesses. I'm going to do my best to take care of myself. I'm not going to be mad at myself for wanting to cry. I'm not going to be mad at myself for grieving or being angry at bad things that have happened to me. To just like not be mad that I'm sick and to not be mad that I can't do freaking 50 things on my to-do list. I'm not my freaking to-do list. I'm not. And I'm just going to be really committing for the next 12 months to do little things that will make me a happier, better person. I think I've been just trying to obtain these massive things. And don't get me wrong, shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars. I will always, like, I want to write a book and I want to have like all of these big things and I want to meet all these cool people, and I definitely still want to do those things. But what I'm learning is that if we can't master the little things, how are we going to become the people we need to be to get the big things? And mastering little things like exercise and being okay with yourself and being happy with yourself and being present and being, you know, just like the best parent that you could be, and to take care of your diet and just little things that are just so hard to do, taking care of your finances. Like, I want to make those my goals right now, and I want to master those things to just like make the most of what you have, take care of the body that you have, and just be thankful that you're here, just to have this gratitude for just all that we do have. So anyway, I really hope that helped to share that and to let you all know, especially that there are support groups out there. I don't know why I never thought of looking up one, but ask your local priest or pastor or Google support groups if you need that, because there are probably a lot in the area that you live in and you just don't know about it. Definitely, I think something worth looking into, because I know a lot of people say, well, I can't afford therapy or I don't have insurance. I think if we really just stop focusing on like what we can't do and start focusing on what we can do, that there are actually a lot of options. So I'm trying to change my mentality. I hope that you'll find what you need if you're going through something similar to me. So I will see you guys next week. I really hope and pray that you're having a great week. I pray for all of you. And yeah, if you have any recommendations for better prenatal vitamins or what to do when you're not being regular as you're pregnant, please let me know. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.